Ernie Hartong is on right now. He's a specialist when it comes to digging in and focusing in on this bacteria. And we're talking about bacteria hiding breeding grounds for bacteria in your home. Ernie, good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Good morning, Bill. Pleasure to be with you.
I think it's people would be surprised. I think I read somewhere this week that one of the places you would never even expect a breeding ground to be is your bathing towel. Because a lot of, in a hotel, you'll use a new towel every day, but at home, you tend to stretch that a little bit.
You absolutely tend to stretch that at home, and I think that, ARCSI is the residential division of ISSA, the Worldwide Cleaning Association, where we're dealing with these issues all the time, and I think certainly shows like this and the things you've read, consumers are beginning to understand the value of clean, and that's very important, and again, I think you're right. The least suspected places where those little bugs breed are not necessarily your toilet.
Right, right. Because you think to clean the toilet. And so what do you say to the, I could see my mom saying, although my mother would never say this because she's big on germs and cleaning, but you hear people say, back in the old day, we didn't have all this stuff, and we didn't clean the way we clean today. We're cleaning too much. You're getting rid of the good bacteria. Is that true?
Well, I don't know that that's true. I think what's happened is the bacteria have become smarter. So, we're working all the time with the scientific community to look at that kind of thing. But again, it's the simple things. Professional cleaning companies don't use rags; they use microfiber cloths that don't give those little bugs a free ride from surface to surface. And I think that's the biggest thing with consumers. Things like your sponge and your dishcloth in your kitchen. Actually, the kitchen is a bigger breeding ground than your bathroom.
I've always wondered about the toothbrush. They should come out with something that you can put your toothbrush. Like you go to the barber, he puts his comb inside this liquid, so the comb is always clean. Do they have anything for a toothbrush? Because I would bet toothbrush is pretty dirty.
It's not necessarily the toothbrush; it's the toothbrush holder. You've got a toothbrush holder in your thing. Again, consumers don't think to clean that. They obviously clean the toothbrush, but not the holder.
Yeah.
So I think that's a key thing. And again, professional companies have a checklist. They have procedures, and they're going to do those things as a matter of routine that the consumer necessarily doesn't think about.
Give us some other places where the germs are, the breeding ground for germs and bacteria.
When's the last time you cleaned the bottom shelf of your refrigerator?
Yesterday.
As things drip down and that kind of thing, you don't think about that.
Right.
You may wipe it, but again, if you're using the same cloth to clean in the kitchen, the same that you use in the bathroom, you're just giving those bugs a free ride.
Yeah.
You mentioned, or Bill mentioned the sponge, and I've heard horrible things about sponges. It makes me wonder, do you have to pull out a new sponge every time you wash your dishes? But I don't want to focus on that. You said the bathroom. There's something that, and I'm not skeeved out easily, but it's always you wash your hands, you go to the bathroom, in your home or someone else's, there's a towel there that you wash your hands. Someone else dried their dirty hands before, and before that, and before that. That always grossed me out. Is there a concern there with like a hand towel in a bathroom?
Well, interestingly enough, a gentleman by the name of Dr. Chuck Gerber with the University of Arizona did a study a few years back, and 95% of the people say they wash their hands, but only 67% actually do, and only 33% of those use soap. So, and 16% of that 33% actually wash their hands long enough. So I think if you wash long enough and you use soap, that isn't a concern. But obviously, the consumer tries to stretch things. When you're in a hotel, you get fresh towels and fresh washcloths every day.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily happen in your home.
I do have to tell you that when I go in, it depends on the bathroom. Some bathrooms, I don't want to turn the water on because I think there's like 20 different types of bacteria that I didn't have on me prior to turning that faucet on. But I like the ones now. You go in and it automatically turns on. You never have to touch anything. Those, and then on the way out, they've got a Purell dispenser, which is always nice. But again, you don't have that in your home. What about the front door?
Again, people are in and out, and you haven't washed your hands. You're coming from another surface, whether you're on a public transportation or whatever.
Yep.
We always clean the inside of the home. You don't think to wipe down that doorknob on the front. You mentioned the automatic faucets and that type of thing. That's been one of the great innovations of our industry over the last number of years, is that, again, our members and manufacturers are looking at new ways to deal with the bugs, and those automatic faucets are one of them.
We were on a Disney cruise. I got to tell you, it was unbelievable how serious they take the bacteria and the flu and all that. I mean, every restaurant before you went in, there was someone there handing you a disinfectant wipe. Every bathroom. I mean, it was incredible.
Disney may be the best at customer service, and again, that's something that professional cleaning companies look at when they're in your home cleaning. That they want to provide the same kind of customer service that Disney provides you on that cruise.
Last question, Andrew.
Quickly, I've also heard that pet dishes, water and food, can be a huge source for bacteria.
Again, the bugs like to breed in water, and we don't often change the pet water often enough, so it does become a breeding ground. And again, you just simply dump it out and put in new water. You don't necessarily clean that dish for your pets. But again, it's about the kitchen and those other areas. Why do you think your dog drinks from the toilet instead of the kitchen sink? It's cleaner.
It's cleaner. All right, Ernie. Ernie Hartong, thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, Bill.
Have a great day. It's kind of funny. Ernie, every question we'd ask is kind of like, well, like I said, I told you.
Yeah.
I mean, I have completely, since hearing from Ernie, and I've talked to him a couple of times, I don't ever put my mouth around the spigot anymore in the sink to get a drink. You just don't you don't know the germs that are on there.
I'm sure.
Wrap those lips around there. And
the automatic sinks, though, they drive me nuts, because it's never, it doesn't come on when I want it to.
Some of those are, some of the new stuff is confusing. You're right. You don't know how to get it on.
Automatic soap.
Yeah.
You get like a little tiny drop of it.
And then you're there and you're putting your hand underneath the sink and you're doing it and trying to get the soap to come out. And the guy's like, you got to push that to get the soap to come out. That's not automatic. So.